My name is Muhammed Aziz and I'm back with a new session, and in this session we are going to talk about synchronous and asynchronous programming. This is a very simple concept that you can even implement in any programming language. Synchronous and asynchronous is needed in multiple different areas. While programming, you know that we have a sequence of executing of different instructions. There are some instructions that can take some more time to execute and get us the response back, and we don't want to wait, and we want to use our resources in a better way. So there the concept of asynchronous came. The thing is, for example, I just want to give you an example of real world. You just go to a cinema and you have two tasks to complete. One, you have to purchase a ticket, and second, you have to post a picture to Instagram or whatever the other social media is. So while you are giving an order of your ticket, so this is done and waiting for your ticket to come, you can post your picture to any social media, but this is only achievable when you are doing asynchronous programming. If you're doing asynchronous, in synchronous programming, you have to wait for one code block to complete to move to the next one. But in synchronous, while you're waiting, you can start with the next one. So here also another concept come very strongly, which is routines. So we have two kinds of routines. The one is subroutines, and the other ones are basically the core routines. The subroutines are basically used in synchronous programming, and the core routines are used in asynchronous programming. But the best advantage of core routines are they are able to save the state of code block and then resume from that code block again. So this is the reason, this is the main advantage that asynchronous programming gave to us. So while writing small programs, it's not going to affect a lot, but when you're writing big softwares, definitely you have to go with asynchronous to best utilize of your resources. To give you a better idea how those both things works, let's start with an example, the coding example. Okay, to save some time, I have just created two functions in my Python script. The one function is going to take the cinema ticket, and the other one is going to post a picture on Instagram. So this function is going to take 3 seconds, and this one is going to take 2 seconds. So this is just a simple example. Okay, so let's define the main function where we will call those, and let's add a variable start time, which is going to save the time. And from here I will call these two functions. Ticket equals take ticket, and picture equals post picture. And once those are been done, I will check how much time it took. Underscore time equals time by time, elapsed time equals, I will say, end time minus start time, and yeah, and then I'm going to print those ticket, and then print picture, and then I can say print elapse time is elapsed time. Alright, so this is a synchronous approach of this example. Okay, so this is done, and now let's call our main function. We'll say so instead of doing the concatenation over here, or instead of using f string, I can make it separate, elapse time. And let's run this one. Okay, so you can see that this whole program is basically completed, and has used like 5 seconds to complete this one. Now here the problem is, while I was doing this function and I have to wait 3 seconds, I have some resources which I can use on the next function which I called. So for that purpose, the best thing we can do here is use a synchronous approach in the same program. So I will import a Sync, which is library of Python that makes our life easy to make our software or script asynchronous. And then here async, I'll make it as well asynchronous, and this main will also be asynchronous. And once this has been done, so in the asynchronous option we don't have sleep, it is not supporting. So what we can do here, so instead of time.sleep, we have to use await async.sleep, and same here. So we know that we have to wait here async.sleep 2 seconds. Okay, so this is done here. And now if inside the main function we have to change something, because now these operations that we have performed are not synchronous anymore, those are asynchronous. So we can perform the batch operations. So here we can say batch, and it will be like equals new dot gather, and here we can call these two functions that we have. To save some time, I will copy and also calling these two functions here. And now the batch operations will basically run those batch as asynchronous. Now while this program was synchronous, those were basically a part of subroutines. Now we have used asynchronous. Now we have to wait for these both coroutines to complete it, and those can be completed when we have the await batch over here. So these results now have no means, say ticket, comma, what was the other one, picture, and then await batch. Alright, so it's that simple actually to make your software asynchronous. Okay, now so everything is ready. All of our functions and methods are basically asynchronous, and whenever you are going to use await, wherever you're going to use await keyword, that function must be asynchronous. Alright, so let's run this one. To make it run, we have to use asynchronous dot run, and here we have the main function that we will use. Alright, let's run without debugging. It's working, and there you go. Now before, in synchronous approach, our this small example took 5 seconds, but now we are in asynchronous mode, so our program took 3 seconds. So this is the best way of basically saving your time and using your resources in a way that they should be. You can also change those batch operations to the tasks. They're not going to make much difference in this particular example, but yeah, we can do those also as a task. So I hope you enjoyed this session and you have the better understandings of synchronous and asynchronous approaches, and you also have an idea that what are the routines and subroutines that are being used behind the scene for those. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in next session. Bye.